Okay, so hello and welcome guys to my Napoleon Total War benchmark on my MSi GX740. Now, before we begin, I'll just say that obviously I do know that the camera quality isn't the best for this. I'm recording on my Panasonic Lumix FZ38, which is a very good camera for recording HD, but obviously you need a pretty good camera to record screens well without getting some sort of interference or annoying texture on the screen. And this one does kind of have like a reddy, picks up the reddy blue, reddy green grid of the pixels on the screen roughly, and with the refresh rate and what have you. But if you can bear with that, I would obviously record a video with fraps, but that doesn't give a fair representation of the FPS. And I've already recorded a battle on this laptop anyway, so you know how it performs with fraps. So this is just going to be a very brief video. I'm not going to do a particularly long one, but one to show you that the settings that I'm running this on when I'm not recording and how that performs. So I'll go through my settings. Now, I don't have everything pumped to ultra because even on this laptop, which I'll give it, it's good, very powerful, it's good strength, it won't run at a nice smooth playable frame rate. And to be honest, the settings I have it on at the moment are ideal, and I don't really notice any difference particularly at all if I increase the settings above these anyway. So we'll go through. We've got shader model 3 high, of course, anti-aliasing 2 times, trilinear texture filtering, texture quality set to high, particle effects high, unit detail ultra, building detail high, shadows high, unit size large, trees high, grass medium, water high, sky high, and then we have HDR, light bloom on, volumetric effects, fog on, and distortion effects, heat haze on. So those are what I have, and I also have it running at 1680 by 1050 resolution. When I record, I drop it down to 1280 by 720, and that gives me a nice 720 HD video. So without further ado, I've wasted near enough 4 minutes of your time just talking. I'm going to get on to a battle, and for this I am just going to show a replay that I did the other day, and I'll just show the start of the battle once I'm in there. Okay guys, so I'm now in a battle. It's just a recording of the battle I played the other day. I won't show the whole thing. I fast forward it as it is because it's went on for quite a while. Let's just give you an idea of how this game runs on those settings I just showed you. I'm playing as the Austrians in this, and I was against a British opponent. So you can see in the top left hand corner I've got fraps running. So this is running really nicely. Currently we're sort of steady at around about 47 FPS. Obviously when the battle thickens it drops down to 30s, as low as 20s. Got my cavalry here charging the cannons. We'll zoom right in. So as you can see, even when there is cavalry charging in, we're really close in. The FPS is staying really nice and high at those settings. Some of you might say, oh, push everything to ultra. There's no need, honestly guys. There's no benefit from it. Really, the graphics don't improve that much for it. At least I don't see that much of a graphical improvement, so I'm happy to play at these settings. These are comfortable for the laptop, plus everything looks fine. Obviously if things didn't, I would of course increase it, but I don't need to. You can see how the units look. It's best that this camera will show anyway. They look pretty good. You want to know how I did that zoom? Just press the N button on your keyboard. You can see FPS is good. This is just for 1v1 battle, or funds on large, what I normally play as. You can see the FPS isn't struggling at all. It's doing very well. and we'll see what this cavalry is going to do over here on my right. So as you can see, this is coping extremely well with these settings. I've only seen this laptop go down as low as 20, which in this game, unlike Empire, is still actually a perfectly playable and respectable frame rate. So when you get into the middle, low teens, it starts becoming a problem for you. You can see lag there a bit from the end zoom feature, obviously because there's loads to render if I look at all the units over there, but it's still not bad. It still copes very nicely. The moment we come out of a big render screen, you can see rendering the General's Bodyguard over there very nicely, where you may not be able to see, but I can see on my screen that it's doing it very nicely. There we go, zoomed in, looks great. So out of end zoom, back to see this line infantry reloading and firing on my own men. Trying to find you some more melee combat, show the FPS drop, etc. But generally, this is probably as good as it gets on this laptop at these settings. FPS, good, strong and stable, around high 30s, constant 40s. It's not too bad. We get some melee going, then it does drop a little bit, but nothing serious. This copes with it very, very nicely. I cannot complain whatsoever. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. There will be battles recorded in Napoleon Total War coming up at some point in the near future. I can't give a specific date when will be recording primarily on my laptop rather than my computer. There'll be a certain vlog about what's going on regarding that in a couple of days actually. And I haven't got long left before I head off to uni. And also this battle was not particularly melee confrontational because my opponent did pull back quite a bit. So that's all I'll show for now, guys. Those of you that are wondering know what the melee is, it goes down to about a steady 30-ish. But again, I have never had an unplayable frame rate on this setting. I've never had it to where it lags when I'm obviously not recording with Fraps. With Fraps, I'll occasionally get the odd stutter with Fraps recording, but I think that has more to do with the ATI drivers in the actual game, because obviously I don't get any micro stuttering on plane, but even the FPS is still good and it sometimes stutters, so I can only attribute that to ATI drivers. Again, with my GTS 250 and my main PC, when the FPS went lower than it does on here sometimes, I never got stuttering. So I can only attribute that to possibly ATI drivers. If you've got a heads up on what the best drivers would be to use with an ATI card, I currently run both my main PC and this laptop without a Catalyst control center, because I find that if I do have one, it wipes all the textures off my men, which is a bug there. So let me know the best drivers you find for performance, and especially if you guys record with Fraps, those of you other Napoleon Total War or Total War recorders on YouTube, let me know what the best drivers are for you found when using with Fraps, or any little tips you found to increase performance or stop the stuttering when Fraps is recording. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed. Again, my rambling going on a bit too long there. Comment, rate and subscribe as always, and if you want any more benchmarks, let me know what you want. I'll be working on a Metro was it 2033 one, if I can get the demo for that, and I think someone else, and I've got Company of Heroes and Dawn of War still to come as well. After that it will be a slow trickle of whatever else people want me to do. Comment, rate and subscribe, and I hope you've enjoyed.